How was your TIFF experience?
It was great. Yeah.
And you shot the film in Toronto, Hamilton, and Kingston.
That's
so you've
right,
been in
yeah.
our area a bit.
Yes, I have, yeah.
Is there something special about shooting in Toronto in the north? We always have to get these questions in.
Of course, yeah,
it's
yeah.
our hometown.
I found the exteriors, by the time it was warm enough to go outside, because we shot this last year in 2014, which I believe was a remarkably cold winter. By the time it was warm enough, we went up into northern Ontario, shot some of the exterior scenes around the house, and the weather was so beautiful and it was so quiet. I really loved exploring that part of the country, actually.
It's beautiful as long as you don't have to drive in it.
Right.
It's the commute that's horrible.
Yeah.
Your character in this film is creepy and charming, and then kind of creepy again, and broken.
Yes.
How did you connect with him, and what did you think of him when you first read the script?
Well, just like you said, he's just a character who's trapped. He's in a struggle between his past and his future, and I think he has a superficial charisma initially, and then you realize that behind that is a huge amount of guilt and shame, and then finally, if you scratch beneath that, there's a huge vulnerability in someone who's trying to be a better man, and I was really touched by that, and I hope that people can track his journey with me, and I think he finishes in a really interesting place.
He does. And do you think it's him just getting over the fact that he feels guilty that gets him there?
I think it's Edith, Mia Wasikowska's character, shows him the way. I think she takes him on a journey to, it's about truth in the end. Like, the truth will out. And he finally accepts the truth, owns up to the truth, takes responsibility for the truth, and I think that frees him to make independent choices.
Cool. Guillermo put together a beautiful film. I was terrified going in, and I was just mesmerized by everything else. Can you talk a little bit about working with Guillermo?
Well, Guillermo has just this extraordinary imagination. I think he's able to find beauty in places where most of us would never look. He's able to bring into focus these quite dark materials and make us appreciate their quality. This is absolutely the work of a master, I think. Someone with a very precise and rigorous imagination, and it was just a pleasure from start to finish.
Amazing. Lastly, fun question.
Okay.
The house is super scary.
Yeah.
But Hollywood is scarier, we've heard. What's your scariest Hollywood story?
Oh, God. So many. What's my scariest Hollywood story?
One that you can repeat and we can add.
Yeah, honestly, I can't, off the top of my head, trying to think of it now. It's not a scary Hollywood story. I just thought of a really fun one. This isn't scary at all, but it's a good story, so I'll tell you. I was once at Warner Brothers, and I was like 3 minutes into a really big meeting, and there was a knock on the door, and Warren Beatty came in the door, started telling all the stories from when he was a kid, and then he left, and the meeting was over, and I was like, okay. And he told a funny story about how he'd made a joke to Jack Warner back in the day about the initials on the water tower being his initials. I thought that was cool.
Nice. Thank you so much.
It's not very scary at all, actually.
That's okay.